Bonjour and welcome to Rauta's French Black Metal Time, the very first 2024 release on the channel. This time we have a very new release from Råtten. I don't know why the band decided to go for Swedish O here, but it is Råtten, and of course you can just find it by typing it Råtten. So it's kind of a wordplay or maybe a visual aesthetic style only. However, this one comes with a nice cover. This is a very peculiar alien-like creature and doesn't really tell you anything about the music. Now, if I had to guess based on the logo and the name, I would say it's gonna be some kind of a punk, crust punk or whatever. However, if I would make the guess for the given style on the cover, I would say, yes, this is some kind of a death metal one, like Blood Incantation and whatnot. But this is French black metal, and the album is called, I don't know if it shows here anything, but here on the sleeve it's called La Longue Marche. Pardon my French, I'm not really French-speaking person. Now, obviously, that name means the Long March. Now, depending what you are searching for the name, and this is a CDR release, by the way, by a smaller label. So as I was saying about the name, depending what you will Google for the name, you will either find the Chinese march related to rather recent war efforts, but you will also find a name related to French movie that is all about 1940s and French resistance to World War II. My guess is this is more about the French resistance than the Chinese march, but that is a wild guess. All the lyrics, as you might see, are in French, so can't really comment what's that all about. Can't really say whether this name is more referring to the movie or something else that I couldn't find. Now, what is also worthwhile mentioning is that when you open Metal Archive site, mind you, this is 29th of December when I'm filming this one, so this album isn't even listed. Now, I was trying to look for the right release date for this one on band's own Facebook page previous to making this video, and I tried searching, but it was just January 2024, and since it's not listed here, my wild guess is it could be just one of those days this comes out. So whether this review comes out before or after the release date, it's unknown to me as of yet, because I'm still in year 2023 while making this review. That's about the disclaimer. Now you see the cover, now you know a little bit of the lyrics and the theme and the album name and all that stuff. Let's talk about the music. Now, before that, it's of course worth mentioning that this isn't the first album by the band. There was one in 2021 which I haven't heard, then a couple of singles which are of course, you know, more or less for promoting the actual album. Members are listed 3, which are then again here with kind of a skull masks, pretty original style in a way. I don't know if it looks a little bit goofy. To my eyes it really does, but then again doesn't really ruin the mood. So I cannot really show you the track list or whatever because it's not yet listed here, so let's talk about the music. Now, this is black metal indeed in terms of, you know, compositions, style for vocals, as well as the production. I mean, everything here signs black metal. However, if you look at the themes here, it's mentioned discomfort, despair, humanity's failure. To be honest, sounds something that is more about grindcore or maybe death metal, sludge, thrash metal. Does it sound like black metal? Typically, not so much, but it's up to you to decide whether you're gonna call it pure blood black metal or just black metal like music with themes that are not fitting for the genre. Now, musically, this is definitely tapping towards raw and more simplified end of black metal. I would even say as far as to these are kind of a punk crusty in a way. There's lots of simplicity with the riffs here. I mean, it's very bare bone, straight to the bone, and just cutting it simple, sweet, and all that stuff. So forget everything you know about symphonic black metal, atmospheric black metal, orally melodic black metal, any kind of bombastic approach to black metal, or for that matter, the super raw black metal. But if you will think about riffs, compositions, and all that stuff, I would say this is definitely closer to raw end of black metal. Whether we're talking about bands like Ilion or even some Dark Throne and ones, because of course Darkthrone has always been more or less nodding towards bands like Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, what have you. This is definitely more that school than any of the more sophisticated or melodic schools of black metal. Basically, this is something that should be right up my alley, because I like when black metal is raw, unsophisticated, and kind of a simple. I want it to be fierce, barbaric, and all that stuff. In a certain degree, this band totally nails. I would say this nails pretty much 3 out of 4. So the production is quite, nicely between overly produced and crappy. It's somewhat raw, unfinished, and all unpolished, and I like it. When it comes to the screamy, shrieky vocals, they're definitely on the high register of things. Not throaty or raspy, but more screamy, shrieky side of things. This is probably something that a lot of people will say, yeah, it's kind of the basic second wave black metal. I would say they are pretty cool, even though I'm more on the throaty end of things. Much like, Darkthrone, especially Panzerfaust and all. This is more on the screamer side of things, so think more about In the Night Side Eclipse by Emperor and all the like when you're thinking about the vocals. They are really fitting for the style, so can't really bitch about that either. And like I said, the songwriting is pretty bare bone and basic. Something that also So for it comes to production, vocals, songwriting, everything is in check. So what is the fourth nail that is missing? And that is this band so far, at least for this album that is unable to really, really make the hit songs. And now when people say hit songs, they don't belong to black metal, I'm like, okay, I have to disagree here. Whether we are talking about Darkthronian's golden era, whether we're talking about songs like Under a Funeral Moon or As Flittermites as Satan's Peace, or some, Burzum songs, some Bathory songs, whether we're talking about Emperor or Satyricon's Mother North, black metal is filled with hit songs. So in that respect, take these hit songs and then compare them to Råtten, and you're like, okay, this band doesn't really have those. I mean, in general, this album is really, really easy to listen to and kind of get to the mood and all that stuff, grab a beer, get violent and all. But it's not one of those bands that is future classic, you're gonna nail it. This ain't no next Marduk, this ain't no next Darkthrone or whatever. But it does certain have the kind of a momentum that is they're good. So this is very, very potential band for the future to come. But this album is a little bit more on the decent side than really outright good. With these words, I would say go for it when you will have the possibility to listen to the album. You will find links provided in the description box, of course, and of course you can use your magical Googling skills or for YouTube search when this album is out there for the streaming. But like I said, it's not out there yet when I'm making this, so I might not have the updated links for you to check out when you're really actually watching the reviews. So you have to do it for yourself. But stay tuned if you're into this kind of black metal, and there you go. I hope you would find this review useful, and if not, you can get your money back guaranteed. Take care. Bye-bye.